What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we finally went ahead and put in a decent amount of time into Season 1 for Modern Warfare 3. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my first initial impressions of this. Of course, later on within the weeks, we are going to discuss stuff, more in detail, toxic things, amazing things, so on and so forth. But I want to give you guys my first impressions and let you guys know if it's actually worth your time hopping into the experience. Of course, if you went ahead and purchased this game. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you enjoy what you hear today, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. Like I said a little earlier, we are going to be posting tons of Season 1 content on this channel. We do it daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. So, of course, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified on everything that goes live. And last but not least, we do stream pretty much daily over on Kick. So if you guys want to participate in any of the open lobbies that we hold over on there, play Warzone, 6v6, 12v12, all the additions in the game, by all means, tune to the stream, hit up my socials. You can see my ID in the chat, and we can have some good vibes. I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, Season 1 for Modern Warfare 3. Good, bad, decent, what is it? So far, I got to be honest with you guys, I'm having a pretty decent time. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I did not play the zombie side of things. I only touched upon Warzone and 6v6. 6v6, honestly, like I said, I didn't really see anything that really needed to change gameplay-wise. I'm just looking for content. So, realistically, I'm going to critique the actual content within the game. Gun-wise, the RAM, we already had it before. It's cool to see it back, though, because it was one of my favorite rifles. The sniper, and I think it's the launcher, I'm probably not going to end up using those. But the skins throughout the Battle Pass are not too bad this time around. I'll be honest. I actually like a decent portion of the skins. The Black Cell skins are still kind of lame in my personal opinion, but it is what it is. I have a whole different video about that one. But when it comes to the base skins that you get for, basically just getting the base edition and grinding it up, since I know a lot of people have been doing that, including myself, you buy one Battle Pass, you grind it, get the next one for free. Grind the next one, get the next one for free. Basically, you get unlimited Battle Passes as long as you play them and don't spend the extra COD points. So a lot of us have been doing that, and if you're curious if this current Battle Pass is actually worth the grind, yeah, I think it's a lot of decent things within this current Battle Pass. And, low-key, I've been enjoying grinding the Battle Pass a bit more, too, because of the gameplay itself. I still really enjoy the game, guys. Honeymoon phase set aside, the core gameplay mechanics that Sledgehammer has produced here are just really fun and engaging. And, I can't help myself. Skill-based matchmaking is still cranked through the roof. I'll tell you that right now. When it comes to Season 1, skill-based matchmaking is there, it's relevant, it's huge, and it's going to drive you absolutely insane. But, of course, like I said, if you don't mind competing a little bit more like me, myself personally, or if you do have a big squad of people that you can hop into to hopefully make the matchmaking a little bit more lenient, by all means, the gameplay it makes up for it. It really makes up for it. I hope Microsoft touches upon skill-based matchmaking at some point. They already said they will, but I really hope they touch upon it and possibly tune it. I don't have my hopes or expectations set anywhere, high at all when it comes to them tuning it, but still, the hope is still there nonetheless. Now, of course, the update still had its problems, at the beginning of the launch. Its queue times. A lot of people, including myself, got the reset bug where it's claiming that if you continue, your whole account's going to be reset. Now, of course, this was false, and they were very quick about it on Twitter. They let us know instantly that you could just click right on through it. But then the problem that happens afterwards, not for everybody, but for a handful of people, including myself, is that your classes get all reset, which is such a tedious thing to have to go ahead and put all of your classes back together, try to remember everything. And me personally, I didn't make custom mods for all of my weapons because some of them I have not removed from my classes. So they've just been sitting there for a while. And, obviously I saved my mods, but I only save them when I go ahead and change them out for a different weapon. And they just poofed. I don't remember what they were anymore, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to go back to maybe some of my previous videos to remember. So that obviously sucked. But everything else, it was actually pretty dang smooth of a launch. Now, when it comes to the maps, I am extremely happy here because indeed, like I expected, they are the absolute opposites of what we got in the beginning, the OG Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps. Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps were made back in the day, when they were a lot more spacious, a lot more, I guess, tactical, It's a night and day difference compared to what we have now. The biggest map so far is Greece, and the lanes on that map are phenomenal. It reminds me of a map out of like Cold War or Black Ops 4. It gives me Treyarch vibes, 1010%. A medium to large scale map with tons of different lanes, tons of different routes to go ahead and flank about. You have water lanes, which I personally love. I love when they incorporate water in this sort of way because it's great to flank, and nobody ever thinks about checking it. It's hilarious. And honestly, it plays great on all game modes across the board. Now, for me personally, I played it on 12v12, which once again is another fantastic addition that removed 10v10, and I was worried that that was going to become a problem, but it got instantly replaced with 12v12, which is honestly really fun. Honestly, it might be more fun than 10v10. Of course, the map rotation switched up in it, but I don't mind. It's a really fun game mode. I hope they keep slowly increasing it and, do different maps and different styles. I love it. I love what Sledgehammer is doing here. But Greece, I only played on 12v12, but I feel like 6v6 wouldn't be that bad either. Maybe on TDM it'll be a bit slow, but Domination, Hardpoint, they work perfectly. And honestly, both the maps, Greece and Meat, which I'll talk about in a second here, which is the gameplay you're watching, they just play great with the movement. A lot of people are curious how this movement will feel with actual Sledgehammer maps instead of the OG maps, because everybody's a little, annoyed that, the OG maps, they weren't made for the style of movement, but the new maps, yes, they work perfectly, extremely fluid. And Meat, on the other hand, is what I like out of small maps. I'm so thankful that I have this incorporated into the game, because I hate maps like Shipment, I hate maps like Rust, because those maps are AR maps. I'm sorry to say, you can run SMGs and stuff if you want to, but it's so much more beneficial to sit in a freaking corner and use an AR and bait out spawns and spawn trap. That's all people do on those maps. It drives me insane. Meat actually has a little bit of variety, a little flow. It's kind of like Shoot House, a smallerish map that actually has lanes and ways to flank and maneuver, where it's not just, pick up an AR, hold a lane, and sit there all game long. As you can see in this gameplay, honestly, the knife is the most fun on this map. I go on some insane knife streaks. Honestly, spoiler alert, we might potentially lose this game. I usually use winning footage, but I went so crazy with the knife in this gameplay that I just had to completely ignore the fact that we lost, because it was just wild. Knifing on this map is next level. But it's great because I see people using AR still. I see people still quick scoping, using SMGs, shotguns, knives. The variety across the board on both these maps are phenomenal. And I also forgot to say you could do the same thing on Greece, a medium to large scale map, but at the same time, even though there's plenty of AR, sniper, and LMG lanes to cover, there's also tons of flank routes for SMG players and shoddy players. So it's just great. That's what you're looking for when it comes to map variety. You want every map to be made for everyone across the board, no matter what weapon category they want to go ahead and enjoy. And, when it comes to camo grinding as well, yeah, you best believe you want maps to work for pretty much everything across the board as well. But when it comes to entertainment, things to grind for within the game, I really do believe that Season 1 will, keep me interested. Believe it or not, because usually these seasons die off so fast, they're irrelevant within a week. But the way that Sledgehammer Games has been handling this title, and I made a whole video about this, so if you guys want to check that out, by all means, you can find it on this channel. But I made a whole video about how they have been just mastering live service this time around, They're actually giving us stuff to play, to grind for. It's a $70 game that they're trying to advertise as live service. Give us something that makes it worth our time then, It's pointless. They make all these games like free to play. This is the first game where I actually feel like every time I log in, there's something that I want to do. Between, the events, the camo grind, there's more weekly challenges to grind for, more aftermarket parts to, mess around with different weapons to make them completely different and unique. There's always something to do. And now with the battle pass introduced to add more content to grind for, the leveling system so we can finally max out to 250. I wish they would just uncap it and let us grind to what we want to, like we did in Black Ops Cold War up to level 1000, but it is what it is. They're doing what I guess they're allowed to do. There's just a lot of stuff to go ahead and do. And also with the game modes that are going to be coming into the future, don't forget about the one game mode where there's going to be a ray gun user, one ray gun user, and the rest of the people have to try to go ahead and beat them to get the ray. It's so many cool things that are going to be incorporated throughout this season. I just hope they keep up this pace. We'll see. We'll see with Season 2. We'll see with Season 3 if they can continue this, if we can get more content, more drops. One thing I'm disappointed about is no maps for War. What's going on there? I love War, but there's not enough variety to keep me interested in War. I want to bounce out of it after like 1 or 2 games. 1 game, honestly, and I'm good to go. We need more maps, more variety for that mode to make it interesting to hop back in. I was going to make a whole different video about it. I might actually still do it with some live gameplay. I think that'll be pretty interesting and fun to watch. But, regardless, I'm sad about that, but across the board, when it just comes to 6v6, I'm pretty pleased. And Warzone, I'm trying to get a little bit more into Warzone because, believe it or not, I was a BR guy. I was heavy into it back in the PUBG days. I kind of fell off because I played way too much PUBG. But, honestly, Warzone, the new version, is a lot better than what we had with Warzone 2. I gave it a few shots. It was fun from what I played. I like the new permanent perk additions where you can still slide an ADS, you can sprint while you're reloading. All those different things that are added permanently into the game are really cool on top of what you can already do to your own class. It feels more like a mix of Warzone 1 and what they were trying to envision for, a more different version of it. Warzone 2 was just a flop. It really was just a bad vision, but this is a nice in between. And I think that they can honestly run with this. It's not perfect by any means. It needs a lot of work, in my opinion, personally. Others might share different opinions. I think it still needs a lot of polishing, balancing, updates, so on and so forth. But, for a foundation, way better than what we had before, and I think people are going to be more intrigued to give it a shot. The biggest problem for me personally was cheaters, man. My goodness, day one cheaters, it was wild. Honestly, it made me want to go back to the 6v6 experience because it was just, they were coming in hot. I'll be real, and you guys know me. I'm not a person to really, accuse people of cheating. I usually always give anybody the benefit of the doubt. It's the last thing that I ever go ahead and blame someone on, but my God, people are blatant in Warzone. Is it like, I don't know, but can someone tell me if it's like really easy to get back into the game? Is that why like people are just not even trying to hide it right now? Because it seems like people are very confident to just, blow their account away. And I'm assuming they can get right back into the experience like it's nothing. But of course, go down to the comment section and let me know about that. But yeah, I'm having fun so far. Again, I have more detailed videos coming in the future, of things that might be rants, things that might be positive. We cover everything on this channel. But just as my first impressions, this is probably the most fun I've had playing a brand new season in any COD game in a while. It's weird too because it's not like it's it's not like it's 5 new maps or something with 50 it's a couple of maps, another one coming mid-season, a handful of weapons, not like a bunch of SMGs or something. It's just one AR to grind for, but still, I'm still just having fun with it. Out of all the COD games I've played from Modern Warfare 2019 up to current date, I'm having the most fun with it, as long as I could just push past skill-based matchmaking. But again, I don't mind too much of the competition. I just feel horrible for everybody who just wants to play the game casually. It sucks. It sucks for Sledgehammer, man. They made a game that I feel like a lot of the casual audience would just enjoy like no tomorrow, but they're forced to put in the worst matchmaking system that all of this potential will more than likely just go to waste. It's sad because there's a lot of good stuff within this game, but nobody can tolerate it. Nobody can put up with the matchmaking system, It sucks, but it is what it is. But regardless, first impressions, pretty dang good. I think it's worth checking out, especially if you already purchased the game. It's a lot of stuff to do. Zombies has a bunch of stuff to grind for now. Multiplayer, you got some new things that you can play for, and especially rank, finally. And Warzone, it's actually really, fun now compared to what it was before. It might be interesting to hop back into the experience with a bunch of friends. Just, keep your eyes peeled for the cheaters and just make sure you go ahead and report them when you see them. Of course, and by all means, it doesn't hurt. It's not like they're going to get banned if they're not cheating, but at least if they are cheating, you gave it a chance and they might get banned and they'll get out of the lobbies and you'll make the experience a little bit better for everybody else. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And last but not least, we do stream pretty much daily as well over on Kick. That stream usually goes live around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, anywhere in between. You can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video, along with all my other socials like Twitter and Discord, where my DMs are pretty much always open. So if you guys want to chat it up, discuss things about COD, by all means, you can hit me up there. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.